Page was the Iris chief all along. He told Jade not to take the mission on Black Isle because he knew it was Iris trying to recruit her. He hardly spoke when around Han because otherwise he may have recognized Page's voice. He also never went upstairs in the Akuda bar to stay as far away from the hideout as possible while still acting natural. While this twist is neither mind-blowing nor flipping everything we know on its head, it's neatly foreshadowed and makes sense. It did an excellent job at slightly recontextualizing interactions between Jade and Paige, and I had a lot of fun spotting the little things in this playthrough. Our next stop is the moon, but first we'll need to get old Belly flying again and...
I just got my order in. They've only given me one flight stabilizer, man. I'll put it aside for you. I hope that'll be enough for you.
Oh, well, that's convenient. We also get the latest issue of the Hylian Word.
The Iris Network terrorists have been spreading slander against the Alpha sections. The so-called photographic evidence that have been appearing in their underground newsletter are nothing more than elaborate fakes.
And just in case we don't fully understand what our final report is going to do, Han lets us know that we'll need the support of all Hylians to fight alongside them in a full-scale attack on the moon base. We pick up a generous donation of pearls that we'll need for the flight stabilizer. Before going anywhere else, it's time for us to break into Alpha Section's HQ. Their interior decorator is French. This is the final stealth challenge in the game. It's crawling with guards and laser bots, so a single mistake means death. It is, however, a fairly straightforward challenge. Guard movement makes it very obvious when you're meant to move, and so long as you don't lose your rhythm, their pattern lines up perfectly for you to keep moving with minimal wait times. I think the purpose of this section is less to provide the ultimate challenge, but rather to make you feel like a sneaky super ninja by easily overcoming what seem like impossible odds. We take back a whopping 10 pearls as we approach another one of the game's set pieces.
Lost, sweetheart.
The explosions and lasers everywhere can't hit you while you're moving, so this again only exists to make Jade look good, which it does. Except for that part, where her big stick is huge. If I had to guess, the devs scaled down Jade's model to make the screen look bigger. Someone, however, forgot to also shrink her big stick.
Don't break up the team. Carlson and Peters, page 823.
Let them go. They'll lead us to an even larger prize.
Quite embarrassingly, I haven't opened this district yet. We beat up the first guard because it's not our fault he looked at us wrong. He shouldn't have done that. A frontal assault won't be an option in the next room, so we'll have to make sure to avoid the guard and spotlight drones. It's pretty easy once you know the guard is there. There's a closing door dodge the laser challenge, which, well, challenge might be a bit generous here, but we're rewarded with a pearl. We do the same door thing again, but this time with 2 lasers, and we get 2 pearls. And this bit is really funny to me. Bald Bull is all like, let them go, they'll lead us to a larger prize, and 10 minutes later, Jade breaks into the pearl storage again. Since you can do the protect the districts in any order once you can unlock them, you can just have the janky low-budget chase right after the well-directed explosive set piece. Very anticlimactic, but also very funny.
Fine, but we better get out of here before they discover what I just borrowed from them.
Yeah, no, I think they noticed you. Since Mama won't go, we go to Mama Go and get our grubby mitts on a second flight stabilizer. What follows is one of the emotional highlights of my childhood. I don't think I can do it justice by picking it apart, so I will let it speak for itself and talk to you later.
The door's closed. What's been going on around here? No, 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 no! Pablo? Ben? Yoa!
Careful, Miss Jade. The Alpha sections may still be there.
Double H! They've taken the children! Anybody here? Umi! Zaza! Poor Wolf. I know how you are. You tried to help them. You told yourself that you wouldn't let them come to any harm. That you'd be there to protect them. I know, boy. But that isn't what actually happened. The kids are gone. And you couldn't do anything. You're here, alive and well. Who do you think you are? Did you think you'd actually be able to make a difference? Well, Wolf, you were wrong, boy. Completely and utterly wrong. There's nothing anyone can do. There's nothing anyone can do.
We must go now, Miss Jade.
It's over, Double H. Finished.
They're still alive, Miss Jade. Paige, the kids, they're all still alive.
Stakes have officially been raised, and the war against the Doms is now more personal than ever. Jade, however, isn't driven by revenge. She's not going to go on a murderous rampage to avenge the only family she's ever known. Only when Double H reminds her that there is still hope to get them back, she finds the resolve to keep pushing forward. Also, Wolf is really small now, so maybe he's deflating? Outside the lighthouse, we're greeted by an ambush. Due to the camera sensitivity, the jetpack bots continue to be a tremendous pain to fight. So this battle is far more enjoyable in the console versions. I like that the alpha set a trap at the lighthouse, hoping to catch Jade at her most desperate, but given how much of a thorn in their side she's been up to this point, it's pretty stupid of them to not send more guys. In terms of gameplay, the destroyed lighthouse could have been handled more interestingly. Sneaking through your own home as guards turn it on its head while insta-kill bots in every room prevent you from stopping them could have been a strong moment, symbolic of how powerless you feel when they take those you love away from you. You can have that one for free, mon pays. Call me. We place the stabilizer into the engine and prepare for liftoff. Except we're actually in the hovercraft now, and that's weird, but oh well. After connecting the hovercraft to the ship, the Doms send out the final serpent. Just like the jump jet expanded the battlefield before, the beluga allows the fight to spread across the entire hub world. If you've watched any of the videos of the devs talking about Beyond Good and Evil 2, you've probably heard the term sense of scale a lot. Before replaying it for this video, I never realized that I wanted to achieve a sense of scale in Beyond Good and Evil 1 also. You start off on an island, get in a hovercraft to explore the waters, get in a ship to explore the skies, and ultimately leave the planet to briefly explore outer space. From very early on in the game, NPCs have been telling us about a treasure in a volcano. This should be drilled into your brain so hard by now that you'll instinctively go looking for a crater right away. We're going to have to throw down with a colony of Crowjacks to get the treasure. Originally, I thought the fact that pearl crowjacks exist would debunk my entire Divalite pearl theory. If pearls were brought to Hillis by colonists, why are there animals that are this closely tied to pearls? But fortunately, I am stubborn and found two possible excuses for the existence of pearl crowjacks. 1. Crowjacks like pearls and carry them as trophies or status symbols to impress potential mates like magpies or octopi or one of nature's other pies. Pearl crowjacks are no stronger than normal ones, so they don't use the pearls for power. But as we saw in the crowjack's lair, other crowjacks are willing to sacrifice themselves to protect the pearl. Or 2, crowjacks' metabolisms may be able to absorb traces of Divalite found in the atmosphere and shape them into usable pearls. You know, kind of like how clams make pearls out of calcium carbonate. This theory would mean that there's a good chance crowjacks were deliberately brought to Hillis to create pearls despite their aggressive nature. Back to the volcano. There's an abnormally large number of pearl crowjacks here, which either means that this colony only accepts pearl carriers or that the Krojaks here have been living in safety long enough to generate 1 pearl each. Double H is brain dead, then actually dead, and we try again. The Volcano's treasure is a victory lap. Fighting Krojaks is extremely easy, but it's reasonably satisfying. I wonder if the devs wanted to put a specific number of pearls in the game, and when they ran out of time they decided to just add more pearl Krojaks. With our fat stack of pearls we'll make our way back to the Beluga. Over at Mamago's we'll buy the practically new Stella motor for our ship. Yeah, you know we're not gonna go to space yet. We have some unfinished business all over the map. If you're a completionist, the animal and pearl detectors are incredibly convenient. While you're on the hub map, the icons show you the entrances to whatever caves and buildings still contain collectibles. So enjoy the montage of me apologizing for everything I missed.
We are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
Let me give you a...
Sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. We're sorry. I'm deeply sorry.
And with that, we have all pearls and get a special promotional game from the Rhinos. I had never actually seen this before, so I was very excited. Let's look at what Isam's been cooking up for us. That's alright. Now all that's missing are 2 M discs and 1 animal. One of the discs you can only get by entering your online code on a Ubisoft-run website called the Darkroom. This site is now defunct, but luckily this game has an awesome community, is known for liking, subscribing, and sharing videos with all of their friends. Today, there are 2 ways to obtain the disc. We either use the super user-friendly save editor, or head on over to BGEMyth.net, where a superfan has recreated the Darkroom, allowing us to still use the dev-intended method. Entering the code you find under your save file will output a 4-digit code. Punching it into the piece of furniture in the Akuda bar will open it and give us access to the disc game. I love the disc game, so I guess being able to play it on any M-disc reader is kind of cool. You can even watch 2 CPUs battle it out, which, you know, I'm sure is fun. And with that, we plug the craft into the ship and take off.
Janib, Omega Dipper, Altair, we're surrounded by stars, Double H.
There's a fun, incredibly memorable animal challenge. Shooting the ice off of a space whale, and preferably dodging it, reveals the final animal and awards us the last M-disc. While it's tempting to try and explore the surprisingly beautiful yet limited outer space section of this game, this is obviously well beyond its scope. At least the limited range of movement is explained in-game by the Mamagos having sold you a faulty engine, which is just so them. As we approach the moon, we can see the oxygen around our ship igniting. This moon does have a breathable atmosphere, so it's nice that the devs added this effect. It's too quiet. Without any resistance, we make it into the base. I don't know, what am I doing? We also buy everything we see because no reason not to. Taking a look at the final M-disc, we see that it's a collection of all animal photos we sent in. These photos, in combination with the song that also plays on the Lighthouse Island, make for a mini nostalgia trip that kind of reminds me of the end credits in Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. It reminds you of all the people you met and places you explored. The fact that players can only get this disc right at the very end of the game makes me suspect that this was its entire purpose. There's a box crane puzzle, similar to what we've seen before, only this time we have to move the crane ourselves. This allows us to cross over to the transmitter room and reach a gear we can use to lower a bridge. This animation of Jade climbing up between 2 walls hasn't been seen since the mission on Black Isle and should bring back memories of Paige. Approaching the door, we see 3 pressure plates. Since Double H and Paige have both helped us open doors before, it only makes sense to think that yes, Paige is alive and we'll get him back. It creates a nice connection between Jade and the player. We hop on an elevator on the other side of the room and enter the Dom's base. There's no real music here, just weird buzzing, echoey voices and what sounds like squealing pigs. It's some seriously creepy atmosphere. Inside we land a couple of mirrors because this is a video game. There's a mirror we have to pick up. It's easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for. This whole affair is just a bog standard laser puzzle, nothing too interesting about it. As we send the lasers across the base, we find ourselves in a room with rotating mirrors. Shooting them will change your position because again, it's a video game. What's interesting, however, is that the noise stopped. It's as if the whole complex suddenly became aware of our presence and is holding its breath, watching us. It's just chills, man. We send the beam across a bridge that leads into a place simply called Cloister because why not make it even creepier while you're at it? This actually has an interesting implication. Clergy that live inside of a cloister, like the high priest we're about to meet, rarely leave its walls. This explains why we've never met the big bad himself and gives him an eerily religious air. We find Paige in what looks a bit like Amber, which, now that we know they're all clones, might make this a Jurassic Park reference. In order to free him, we'll have to line up lasers with the crystals. This creates 3 different shapes, but I don't think they mean anything beyond looking cool. Double H shatters the crystal, but it looks like we're too late.
I'll come back for you. I'll bring you back home.
When interacting with Paige, Jade won't turn away until we tell her to. After being so sure we would get him back, we have to accept the fact that we couldn't save him.